Yes, I'm back. Yes, I've got a new haircut. But what we're really here for is Indian Wells. It is our ATP draw preview and prediction video for what in some people's minds is the fifth Grand Slam on the calendar. But in my mind, it is one of the most important ATP Masters 1000 events of the year. It's got so much excitement around it. It's going to be packed. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And not only that, but we have a pretty much fully fit outfit for the men's side. So there's not many players who are injured, not many top players that are injured. And we've got the return of Rafael Nadal as well. So all good if you're an Nadal fan or just a general tennis fan. And there are potential matchups of a Djokovic, a Sinner, and Nadal, and Alcaraz, matching up against each other. So we'll get into it. As always, we're going to go through each and every single match, and then I'll give you guys my predicted winner of the tournament. I haven't actually looked at the draw, so I'm going into this completely with a fresh pair of eyes. I have no idea what people's routes are, so let's get into it. Before we do, though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Also, excuse me if I've got a bit of a croaky voice. I'm still not 100% recovered from being ill. But you know what? You do what you have to do. So, Djokovic has a bye. He's the number one seed, and of course, the reigning champion is Carlos Alcaraz, who beat Daniil Medvedev last year very convincingly. Djokovic hasn't played here, by the way, for I think 5 years. So we know there's some reasons behind that. Vaccine. I'm sure there's some injuries as well. But yeah, he hasn't played at Indian Wells for 5 years. So great to see him back here in what is known as Tennis Paradise. Vukic has a qualifier, so we'll go for Vukic for now, so we don't know who the qualifier is yet. Zhang versus Kovacevic is a good one. Closely matched. I'll go for Zhang. Echeverry and Paul both have buys as their seeds. Alex Michelsen has João Munar in the first round. That's a tough match. I'm going to go for the American. He's playing at home. I've been quite impressed with how he's looked recently. He seems to have a pretty good all-round game, actually, for someone of his height and stature. He is quite versatile, so I'll go for the American. Munar is no slouch, though, and he will definitely put up a fight. Qualifier has Patrick Kipson, who looks like is a wild card. I mean, I don't know much about Patrick Kipson in all honesty, so we'll pick him though. Umber has a bye, as does Casper Ruud. Umber, of course, has won 2 titles this year. He's looking so good. So good. 2 qualifiers there. Arthur Fields versus Nuno Borges. Good matchup. Nuno Borges, of course, had a really good Australian Open, beating Dimitrov in a very good run. Arthur Fields has been okay at the start of this year. They're still really waiting for him to have that real breakthrough run at a major tournament, either a Masters 1000 tournament or a Grand Slam. Hasn't quite come yet. We'll go for. I'm going to go for Nuno Borges, actually. I'm going to go for Borges. We've got Fakina has got a bye, as has Nori. Sonego Kekmanovic is a good one, actually, to be honest. That's a very solid first round match. I'm going to go Sonego. Monfils Purcell, also a really good first round match. You know what? Monfils has been playing well. He's been playing well, so I'll go for Monfils. Hakac has a bye, as does Medvedev as well. Kaboli has Carbes Bien, we'll go for Kaboli. Safiullin has Evans. These courts are normally relatively slow. I'll go for Dan Evans. Korda has a bye, as does Manarino. Wawrinka has Thomas Machak in the first. That's a really tough first round. Machak is a good player. A really good young player. Can Stan beat him is the question. Saw Murray try and fail recently. I have to go for the youth, I think. I think Stan's results have not quite been there. He's just struggling for a little bit of consistency in his game right now. Alexander Miller has a qualifier. What a great little draw for him. I mean, he's not even a seed, so he'll be happy with that. Dimitrov and Fritz both have buys. Tabila to beat Kotov, and Fognini to beat Zapata Morales. Baez has a buy. Musetti has a buy. Ooh. Van der Zandschulp versus Denis Shapovalov. That's a good one. That is a solid one. Question is, I mean, is Shapovalov going to turn up and just spray balls left, right, and centre, or is he going to be relatively honed in? It's going to be in his hands, in all honesty, as are most matches. Van der Zandschulp is solid. I'll go for him. Raonic Nadal. Wow. Now, this is the matchup, right? This is the matchup. This is arguably the best first round match. I mean, we haven't gone through all of them yet, but it's going to be hard to top this one. Nadal, of course, just coming back from injury, just played the Netflix Slam versus Alcaraz. His exhibition, though, I mean, he looked, I don't know how to say, he didn't look amazing. He looked okay in spurts, but it's an exhibition, so maybe you can't take too much into it. At the same time, though, he didn't seem to be moving 100%, but then maybe he just wasn't giving 100% because of exhibition. So I don't know. Raonic, though, has looked pretty good in quite a few matches. He's been serving really well, hitting off the back of the court. His movement is a little bit hampered, I have to say, at times. But he could potentially hit Nadal off the court. And Nadal has had issues with big hitters in the past. Big serving, big hitting players. And Raonic is in that category. I'm going to go in Nadal, but you know what? This is a real potential banana skin. He could easily lose in the first round, and I wouldn't be surprised. Rune has a bye, as does Rublev. Murray has a qualifier. He should get through that, you'd hope. Then an All-American affair in Eubanks versus Nakashima. All right, okay. Nakashima has been pretty underwhelming since winning the Next Gen finals. He hasn't really done too much, which has been a bit of a disappointment. Eubanks, though, since that Wimbledon run, hasn't done much also, though. I'm going to go for Nakashima. Lechka has a bye, as has TFO. Lejovic and Rusevori. Now, Lejovic is not an easy customer to come up against, but I'm going to go for the youth in Emil Rusevori. Altmaier plays a qualifier. Tsitsipas has a bye, as does Shelton, and he's ranked number 16. I'll be happy with that. Jakub Mensik got a wild card, and great to see him in the draw. He has been playing some great tennis, of course. Shevchenko and Kepfer. We'll go Shevchenko. Strundler has a bye, as a Struff. Okay, nice. Very nice. Chorich and Offner. It's a good one. Go Chorich. He's had some good results at Indian Wells in the past. Offner is solid, but I'd almost say he's a similar type of player to Chorich, but maybe just not quite as good. It sounds harsh to say, doesn't it? But I just don't quite see him having the firepower to trouble Chorich, in honesty. Kokkinakis and Giron. Kokkinakis should get through that, but Giron's actually a pretty tricky customer. I've seen him recently, and he's been quite good. Some solid results. I'll go for Kokkinakis. Sinner's got a bye, as is Zverev. Draper's looked good recently. Obviously, had to retire versus Alex de Minaur's one set apiece. He was down in the third set, but he was ill. I'll go for Draper. I've liked the way that he's been playing recently. Hanfman to beat Kashin, and Greek Squad's a buy, as Bublik, who's again also been playing some really good tennis. Winning some tournaments, looking good. Thompson has a qualifier. Taro Daniel plays Galan. I mean, I don't know. Who's going to win that? We'll go Taro Daniel. Demona has a bye as Hachinov. JJ Wolf has a qualifier. Go JJ Wolf. He should make a decent little inroad here if his section is not super strong. Marajan Popperin will go for. Very interesting. Popperin. Jari and Felix both have buys. Qualifies there. Van Ash Arnaldi. Wow, that's a great next gen matchup. We'll go Arnaldi. I've liked the way he's looked recently. A bit of recency bias there, in all honesty. Alcaraz has a buy. Number 2 seed. Right, here we go. Second round. Djokovic, Vukic, Djokovic, Echeverry to beat Zhang. Tommy Paul Mickelson. I'm going to go Mickelson to beat Paul. Bird to beat Kipson even. Rude to beat the qualifier. Fakina to beat Borges. Nori Sonego. Nori's been very up and down. He's obviously won Indian Wells in the past as well, which is really impressive. Go Nori. Monfils Hakac. Now, Monfils has the ability to beat Hakac, but I think Hakac will come through it. Medvedev should beat Kaboli as well. Korda to beat Evans. And Machak, that's a tough one. Manarino is just so difficult, especially for the younger players. He's got such a unique set of skills, and his game style is not like anyone else's out there, really. I'm going to go with Manarino to beat Machak. Dimitrov to beat Muller. Fritz to beat Tabio. Baez to beat Fognini. And Vanadan Schultz to beat Massetti. I just can't trust Massetti at the moment. I think this is, yeah, I mean, as much as I'd love to say that Nadal could come through Rune, I don't think he will. I think Rune will beat Nadal. I think it's just too much for him. We got to see it, though. I hope he beats Raonic so we can see this match, because that would be fantastic just to watch, just to see. That will really tell you where Nadal's at, right, against a top 10 player. Rublev Murray. Rublev's going to come through that. I think too hot to handle for Murray. He could frustrate Rublev at times, but obviously Rublev had his disqualification overturned as well after his incident. I mean, is that going to affect him at all? You'd expect not, but we'll see. Lehechka to beat Nakashima, TFO to beat Rusevori. Actually, no, I'm going to Rusevori to beat TFO. Cause a bit of an upset there. Since it's supposed to be Altmaier. I'm going to go for Jakub Mensik to beat Shelton, you know. That's recency bias at its peak, isn't it, really? But look, he's riding a wave, so I'll ride it with him. Srundolo to beat Shevchenko. No, actually, I'm going to Shevchenko to beat Srundolo. Srundolo's been terrible this year so far. Struff and Chorich. No Struff. Kokonaka, Sinner should get through that. Zverev, Draper. You know, I'm going to go for Draper to cause the upset and beat Zverev. I'm going to go for it. Why not? I just think Draper's been playing quite well recently. Since the Australian Open, Zverev hasn't done much, in honesty. And I think Draper's got the skill set to trouble Zverev. Very tenacious as well is Jack. Greek Sport to beat Hanfman and Bublik to beat Jordan Thompson. Oh, that's a really good matchup, though. Wow. Jordan Thompson, won Los Cabos as well. He's a very solid competitor. I'm going for Bublik. Oh, I don't know, though. Thompson could easily win that. Dimona to beat Daniel. Hachinov to beat JJ Wolf. I think. Yeah. Jari to beat Popperin. Phoenix to beat the qualifier. Alcaraz to beat Arnaldi. Could be a tough one for Alcaraz there, by the way. Djokovic beat Echeverry. Looks like Djokovic has got a decent draw here, by the looks of it. Bird to beat Mickelson. Ruud to beat Fakina. Hakac to beat Nori. You know what? I'm going to go for a big call here and go for Korda to beat Medvedev like he did at the Australian Open last year. It'll be interesting to see if we see this match and also if it plays out like I think it will. Medvedev's also got a new addition to his team and Gilles Simon as well. I do tend to underestimate him sometimes quite a lot, Medvedev, and it's because I can see holes in his game, but he does tend to be able to paper over those holes really well. So, let me take this pick with a pinch of salt, but I think Korda's got the game to trouble him. Whether he does or not, we'll see, I guess. Dimitrov to beat Manarino, Fritz to beat Baez, Rune to beat Van der Schulp. I've got Rublev to beat Lehechka, is that right? Yeah. I'm going to go for Rusevori to beat Tsitsipas. I just have zero confidence in Tsitsipas right now. Mensik to beat Shevchenko, Sinner to beat Struff, Draper to beat Griekspoor, Dimona to beat Bublik. I think Dimona's been playing really good tennis. Really, really good tennis. Just won. No, sorry, he won Los Cabos. What did Jordan Thompson win? John Thompson won a different tournament. Wasn't Los Cabos. Was it? No. Anyway, Jerry to beat Hachanov. No, Hachanov to beat Jerry. Hachanov to beat Jerry. And even though Felix has a pretty good record against Alcaraz, we've got Alcaraz to beat him. Right, so this is where it could get potentially tricky for Djokovic. I mean, Umber's been playing really well, but I think Djokovic should come through it. Rude Hakac. I'm going to go for Hakac. Korda Dimitrov. I'm going to go Dimitrov. Rune to beat Fritz. Rublev to beat Rusevori. Sinner to beat Mensik. Draper to get revenge and beat Dimona. Alcaraz to beat Hachanov. Could Hakac beat Djokovic? He could, but these hard courts are not super quick. In all honesty, they're pretty slow. I'm not really sure how potent this serve is going to be in these conditions. Also, windy conditions as well, so they're not going to be the easiest serving conditions. No Djokovic. Dimitrov Rune. It's a good quarterfinal. I'm going to go with Rune. Sinner to beat Rublev. Alcaraz to beat Draper. I'm not gone very brave here, have I? Well, I've just gone with who I think is going to win. Djokovic Rune. Now, Rune not easily. Djokovic could lose to Rune because Rune has the type of skill set that troubles Djokovic we've seen in the past. With the outdoor conditions as well, and he hasn't played in 5 years, could that be a factor? I actually think it's going to be a positive factor because he's going to want to come in and show the crowd what they've been missing for the last 5 years. And that means that he will be playing some really good tennis. He's also gone early. I saw him training at UCLA. So, look, I mean, I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't go deep here. So I'm going to go Djokovic. I'm going to send it to be Alcaraz. I mean, I would actually not be surprised if Alcaraz loses earlier in this tournament. I know he's the reigning champion. There's no way that his ankle is 100%. No way his ankle is 100%. And he's just not been playing particularly well, in all honesty. And Sinner is just unbeaten at the moment. So I'm going for a Sinner Djokovic final, which I think is what everyone would like to see in the final. I think that's probably the most ideal final, in honesty. I think it'll give us the most entertainment value, and it'll be the closest one. Now, Sinner's beaten Djokovic 3 out of the last 4 times. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, 3 out of the last 4 times, including a Grand Slam match. Could he do it? Could he make it 4 out of 5? And potentially it would be winning the last 3 matches played against Djokovic. Like how we saw with Alcaraz, I think Djokovic. We saw that Cincinnati final, and Djokovic kind of thought, okay, this is what I need to do. He adapted his game. Still very close match, but he came out on top after losing to Alcaraz at Wimbledon. And I feel like this could be something similar. I just think he's going to be so determined to win Indian Wells, given that he hasn't played here in so long. So I'm going to go for Novak Djokovic. A bit of a boring pick as he's the number 1 seed, but I think it would be a thrilling victory nonetheless. He does have a pretty good draw, in honesty. He does. And I would be very surprised if we don't see him make at least the semi-finals. For Jannik Sinner, I mean, going through the list of players that he's potentially going to come up against, apart from maybe Alcaraz, I just don't see anyone really troubling him if he's going to play the way that he has been playing recently. So my pick is Novak Djokovic to win the 2024 Indian Wells Masters 1000 title. Let me know in the comment section below who you picked and why. And also, what first round matches are you most looking forward to? Of course, as always, we'll be doing play-by-play commentary for a lot of matches. I'll also be trying to do some match previews and also some post-match analysis. So keep an eye out even for that content, and make sure you hit that bell button, guys. It's the big bell icon that you can click to make sure you get notified to our videos, and make sure notifications are on our YouTube so you get alerted to when we upload. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe and well, and we'll see you in the next video.